What is the Newton's second law means? Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum is called Newton's second law. Okay. Force is directly proportional to directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. So force is directly proportional to dp by dt. Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. That is Newton's second law. Now we have to prove this equation F equal to ma. Now I am taking F is just one ball. Mass of the ball it is m. It is moving with a velocity. U. After t time interval, now time is nothing but a 0. T equal to 0. When time t is equal to t, when time is t, at that moment the velocity of the ball is v. So time interval, final time is t, initial time is 0. Final time minus initial time is delta t interval is equal to t. You can write it. Now what is the change momentum of the initial position? Initial momentum is, what is the momentum? It is the product of mass and velocity. So m into u. Initial momentum is mu and final momentum is mv. Now you can write here dp is equal to final momentum minus initial momentum. Now final momentum is nothing but a mv. Initial momentum is mu. Then you can write here m into v minus u. Change in momentum is equal to m into v minus u. So dp is equal to, we got it, and dt is equal to t minus 0, that you can write as a t. dt is equal to t. Now see here, this is equation number 1 and it is equation 2, equation 3. Substitute equation 2 and equation 3 in equation 1. At that moment f is directly proportional to dp by dt. Here dp is equal to m into v minus u. So dp is equal to m into v minus u and dt is equal to t. Now you know very well, change in v minus u is nothing but a change in velocity. Change in velocity per unit time interval. Change in velocity per unit time interval is called acceleration. Change in velocity per unit time is called acceleration. So m into a, since you can write a equal to v minus u divided by t. Now when you remove the proportionality, one constant takes place, that is k. K is nothing but a proportionality constant. K is equal to proportionality constant, isn't it? K is equal to proportionality constant. Now I am writing here, when 1 Newton force is acting on a 1 kg block, 1 Newton force is acting. F is equal to 1 Newton. For your understanding, otherwise you can take one example like this. Same, this is one object. In mass of the object is m is equal to 1 kg. Now F is equal to 1 Newton force is applied. Force F is applied. F is equal to 1 Newton. 1 Newton force is applied on the object. At that moment it is accelerating. Through a 1 meter per second square. At that moment, see from this equation, F is equal to 1 Newton, and K as usual, mass of the block is 1 kg and acceleration of the block is 1. So you can write here 1 into 1 into k, that is equal to 1. K equal to 1 you can write. Equation F equal to ma. K equal to nothing but I am substituting 1, that equal to ma. So F equal to ma. Newton's second law, F equal to ma. Just I am writing once again. I want to tell here, 1 Newton force is acting on a 1 kg block. 1 kg block, if it is accelerating through a 1 meter per second square, if it is accelerating through a 1 meter per second square, k is equal to 1. So we can write F is equal to ma. You can write F is equal to ma. Now what is the force unit? Force unit is F is equal to, I am writing here ma. Okay, mass in unit is kg. Mass unit is kg. Acceleration unit is meter per second square. Kg meter per second square you can write as a Newton. Kg meter per second square you can write as a Newton. And this is SI system. It is SI system. CJ system you can write it is dyne. CJ system you can write it. Dimensional quantity. What is the dimensional quantity means? How many times that quantity is raised. Dimensional formula how we can write means how many times that physical quantity raised. So here m is the mass. Mass unit is kg. Kg how many times it is raised? 1 time. So it is 1 time. Length unit is meter. Meter it is power it is how many times raised? 1 time. And time unit is second. Second power it is 2. So it is minus 2. If you take into the numerator minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula for the Newton's second law. Once again, Newton's second law definition. Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Everyone can say tell Newton's laws means you may tell about first law and third law, but you always forget about Newton's second law. You can remember only formula F is equal to ma, children. You have to remember the definition. It is force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Okay. Conservation of momentum. What is conservation of momentum means? Total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. That is called conservation of the momentum. How it is means, we have to apply this one by using of the Newton's third law. Without Newton's third law, we cannot explain the conservation of the momentum. What is Newton's third law? You know very well. Newton's third law is nothing but for every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. For every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. See here, this is one hand. With this hand I am striking, just I am colliding another hand. At that moment, see here, this is applying the force on this body. This is applying the force on this body. At that moment you can observe this hand will get pain, isn't it? That is action. Now when I hit this one, this hand also get pain. How it is means, the reactional force acting on the body, reactional force is acting on this body due to this one. So one is action, one more it is the reaction. So I am hitting the one body means action on this body, and reaction will be takes on this second body. So action reaction it is the pair, it is action reaction it is the pair, and it is nothing but a action and reaction it is between the two bodies, not on the single body. Action reaction it is on the, you can observe, two bodies. For every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. For every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. That we can call it is the Newton's third law, isn't it? Okay. Now coming to our problem, it is we have to apply the Newton's third law in this one. How we can do that one means, first how we can prove this conservation of momentum. I am taking one mass of the body m. It is moving with a velocity u. Just I don't want to discuss velocity, mass here. I am giving name. This is body A. This momentum is PA. This object is going along this direction. and in front of this one more object is there, that is momentum is PB. It is going along this direction. If this momentum is greater than this momentum, means this first object will be collide with the second one. At that moment there is a interaction of there is a exchange of the momentum, there is a change in velocity. So I am writing it is the momentum will be changes. A body momentum I am writing as a PA dash, and B body momentum I am writing as a PB dash. It is PB dash, isn't it? Initial momentum of the A body is PA and final momentum of the A body is PA dash. Here force acting on the A body, force acting on the A body due to the B, force acting on A due to the B is equal to, how we can write means, and just I am writing it is dP divided by dt. dP divided by force is equal to, force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum, rate of change of momentum. Now I told you very clearly, force acting on the A body, force acting on the A body means we have to discuss about the A body. So change in momentum, it is nothing but a dPA. dPA means final momentum minus initial momentum. Final momentum is PA dash, initial momentum is PA, that divided by time interval is dt. Okay, next one, force acting on the B due to the A. Force acting on the B, force acting on the B due to the A is equal to, how we can directly proportional to dP divided by dt, that you can write as a PB final momentum of the B body minus initial momentum of the B divided by time interval is t, isn't it? That is dt. Now equate equation 1 and this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. For every, when two bodies are collide, there is a equal and opposite forces. So according to the Newton's law, force acting on the A due to the B is equal to force acting on the B due to the A. Force acting on the A due to the B is equal to force acting on the B due to the A. So FAB is equal to PA dash minus PA divided by dt, that equal to PBA is equal, FBA is equal to PB dash minus PB divided by dt. Both side dt get cancelled. Here minus, because equal and opposite forces. This is minus means we can write here PA dash minus PA is equal to minus PB dash, minus into minus plus PB, isn't it? Minus PB dash I am taking this side, PA dash plus PB dash. PA if I am taking that side, that is plus PA plus PB. See here, this is final momentum. PA dash PB dash is the final momentum. PA and PB is the initial momentum. I told you total momentum before collision. Total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. See here, total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. That we can call it is the conservation of momentum. That you can call it is the conservation of momentum. That is the conservation of momentum. Now recoiling of the gun. Recoiling of the gun means, how we can write this is recoiling of gun. Recoiling of gun, just you can take the one revolver, isn't it? It is a trigger. Okay. Now inside one bullet is there. Inside it is one bullet is here. Okay. Mass of the gun. Mass of gun is equal to capital M. Mass of the gun it is capital M, and mass of bullet. Mass of bullet is equal to small m. Mass of bullet it is small m. Okay. Velocity of gun before firing is equal to 0. Velocity of bullet before firing is equal to 0. Now velocity of bullet after firing, velocity of bullet after firing is equal to v, it is small v, okay, and velocity of gun after firing is equal to, you can write one it is v, one more it is u, okay. I am writing it is before firing. What about the gun and bullet? Both are at rest position. After firing, bullet is moving forward direction, the gun is coming backward direction. That is, we are calling it is when gun is coming backward direction, that we can call it is recoiling of the gun. So before firing, velocity of the bullet and velocity of the gun both are at rest position. So that is equal to 0. Okay. According to the conservation of momentum, total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. Here, in this situation, I am writing total momentum before firing. Total momentum before firing is equal to total momentum after firing. Total momentum before firing is equal to total momentum after firing. See here, PA dash plus PB dash is equal to 0 I am writing. Why I am writing means, here momentum, for your understanding, this is capital M, mass of the bullet, mass of the gun, and velocity of the gun before firing is 0. And mass of bullet and velocity of the bullet before firing is 0, because both the bullet is inside the revolver, inside the gun, and gun is at rest position. Before firing, both are at rest position. After firing, the bullet is going forward direction, gun is coming backward direction. So before firing, both are at rest position. That's why I written it is before firing, it is 0. Before firing, total momentum is 0. After firing, for example, this is A, capital M, mass of the gun is M, and velocity of the gun is equal to what I have written, velocity of the gun after firing is U. Plus PB, it is nothing but a bullet. So velocity of the bullet, mass of the bullet is small m, and velocity of the bullet is after firing it is V, that equal to 0. I am writing once again this equation. I have written PA dash plus PB dash is equal to PA plus PB. Here B is nothing but a B, and B dash is about the bullet. A and PA and PA dash and P, it is nothing but a gun. So before firing velocities of the gun and bullet is the 0. So that's why total momentum before firing is equal to 0 we written. After firing, velocity of the gun is U, velocity of the bullet is V. Okay. Capital M U is equal to, if I take a minus this, it will become minus. And I am calculating recoiling of the gun. Recoiling of the gun means velocity of the gun, I need it. So minus mv divided by u. Explosion of a bomb. Now we are discussing about the explosion of a bomb. Now that after explosion, what is the momentum of the pieces? Okay, first it is different cases are there. First I will tell you, I will take one example here. This is one horizontal line, isn't it? It is one horizontal. One bomb is placed here. One bomb it is. Mass of the bomb is capital M. Mass of the bomb is capital M. Now, bomb is initially at rest position. Bomb is initially at rest position, isn't it? After some time interval, see here, the bomb is initially at rest position, but after explosion, this is before explosion, and after explosion, it is divided into the two pieces. One mass is M1, one more mass is M2. One it is moving with a velocity is V1, one more it is moving with a velocity V2, isn't it? So this is before explosion, and this is after explosion, before explosion and after explosion. Now Just I am applying this equation to the total moment, conservation of momentum. What is the conservation of momentum? Total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. So here collision, that what replaced by the explosion. Total momentum before explosion, total momentum before explosion is equal to total momentum after explosion. See here, total momentum, that is capital P, before explosion is equal to total momentum after explosion, means it is only divided into the two pieces. So one momentum is P1, one momentum is P2, isn't it? Total momentum before explosion is equal to total momentum after explosion. Now momentum is equal to, it is the product of mass and velocity. So mass of the before explosion, mass of the bomb is capital M. Mass of the bomb is capital M. And what is the velocity? 0. Its velocity is 0 because the bomb is at rest position. Bomb is at rest position. Okay. P1. What is the mass of the piece? M1. So M1, it is moving with a velocity is V1 plus, and second one mass is M2. Second one mass is M2 and velocity is V2. Velocity is V2. Now this one you can write as a 0 into something is 0. That 0 equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. This M2 V2, if I am taking this side, you can write otherwise M1 V1 is equal to minus M2 V2. See here minus is there. Minus indicates these two pieces are moving in opposite direction. These two pieces are moving in opposite direction after explosion. See here, after explosion, the two pieces are moving in opposite direction. It is the case 1. Okay. In the next situation, how we can take? If it is bomb is divided into the, if it is after explosion, if it is divided into the 3 pieces, if it is divided into the 3 pieces, it is case 2. Just I am writing it is case 2. Now in this situation, see here, this is the bomb. It is the bomb at rest position initially at rest position. After explosion, one piece is moving along this direction. One piece is moving along this direction with a velocity is mass M1 and velocity is V1. And after second piece is moving with a velocity along this direction, mass M2 with a velocity is V2, isn't it? So before explosion, the total bomb is at rest position is like this. After explosion, it is divided into the 3 pieces. It is divided into the 3 pieces. 2 pieces are moving with a perpendicular to each other. 2 pieces are going. One piece is moving along this direction. One piece is going along this direction, isn't it? What about the third one? The third one will becomes along this direction, isn't it? Okay, for your understanding I am writing this equation it is. So first one it is, this is momentum P1 and this momentum is P2 and this momentum is P3. This momentum is P3. Okay, now I am writing total momentum before explosion is equal to total momentum after explosion. P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. Total momentum before explosion is equal to total momentum after explosion, and total momentum means capital M. Mass of the bomb is capital M. It is initially at rest position before explosion, and momentum of the first one it is P1, and momentum of the, for your understanding I am writing here M1, it is moving with a velocity V1. This one M1 and V1 it is moving. So second piece is moving with a V2 velocity and mass is M2 and V2, and third one it is, you can write it is M3 and V3. You can write it is this M1 V1 I have written as a P1, M2 V2 I have written as a P2, M3 V3 I have written as a P3. Now this total momentum is equal to 0, P1 plus P2 plus P3. Now P3 is equal to, if I take a minus of P1 plus P2. P3 is equal to minus of P1 plus P2. Now the magnitude of, see here P1 P2, the direction of the P1 P2 is along this direction. It is making an angle, it is alpha. For this one, so here P1 plus P2 resultant I am writing P1 plus P2 is equal to under root of, it is nothing but a parallelogram law. It is nothing but a parallelogram law. You can write P1 square plus P2 square plus 2p1 p2 cos theta, 2p1 p2 cos theta. So this is nothing but a p1 plus p2. It is the direction, it is nothing but a p1 plus p2. p3 it is moving along this direction, p1 plus p2 it is moving along this direction. See the formula, it is p3 is equal to what I have written, p3 is equal to minus of p1 plus p2. Minus of p1 plus p2 means these two are equal and opposite direction. This symbol, it is nothing but a minus, indicates opposite direction. P3 it is moving along this direction, P1 plus P2 is moving along this direction. Like this you have to calculate what is the momentum of the third piece. What is the momentum of the third piece? This formula, it is very important. This formula is very important. Once again I am telling you. See here, when bomb is initially at rest position, so I am writing total momentum before explosion is equal to, that is P. After explosion it is divided into the two pieces, one is m1, one more it is m2. So total momentum after explosion is p1 plus p2. Okay, velocity is 0. This one it is m2 v2. If I take it that side, I can write it is m1 v1 is equal to minus m2 v2. Minus m1 v1 is equal to minus m2 v2. This meaning is nothing but a, both are moving equal and opposite directions. Here one it is moving one side, one more it is moving another side. Okay, now I am taking, if the bomb is splitting into the, after explosion, if it is divided into the three pieces, at that moment how you can write the third piece momentum? If you want to calculate piece of the third one, momentum of the third one means how we can, total momentum before explosion is equal to total momentum after explosion. The bomb is initially at rest position, that is 0. P1 is equal to m1 v1, P2 is equal to m2 v2, P3 is equal to m3 v3. See here, P is equal to 0 I have written, P1 plus P2 plus P3. Now I am calculating momentum of third piece. Momentum of third piece means P1 plus P2 I have taken this side. So P3 is equal to minus P1 plus P2. That diagrammatically I am writing here, P1 it is going along this direction and P2 is going along this direction. So the resultant of these two is along this direction, that is P1 plus P2. And P3 it is moving along this direction. These two are equal and opposite direction according to this one. Here P1 plus P2, how we can calculate means by using of the parallelogram law, you can write this formula. P1 plus P2 is equal to under root of P1 square plus P2 square plus 2P1 P2 cos theta. So finally you can write P3 is equal to minus P1 plus